So we must see the referendum on independence not as a threat, but as an opportunity. We can be positive about Scotland and positive about the United Kingdom. We are united and unwavering in our determination to preserve the United Kingdom. But the way we choose to campaign to save the United Kingdom will say much about us. Just as our opposition to devolution throughout the 1980s and 1990s defined us then, so our approach to Scotland's constitutional future in the 2010s will define us now. Our early opposition to the Scottish Parliament has led us to being portrayed by our opponents as anti-Scottish. And whether we like it or not, that is still the perception of much of the Scottish electorate. To counter it, we need both an admission and a reality check. Painful as it may be for us to admit, our analysis of the impact of devolution was overstated. The idea that devolution is inevitably a slippery slope to independence, and that any power devolved is a step closer to independence. Such a message was too simplistic. Now that may sound counterintuitive following the SNP landslide, but the SNP landslide did not mean that people were voting for independence, whatever Alex Salmond may think, because opinion polls which go up and down, which show generally that amongst trend lines support for independence amongst people in Scotland remains relatively unchanged since 1997. Many people did not vote SNP to show support for independence. They voted SNP because they thought the party were a competent government. They voted SNP because they think Alex Salmond stands up for Scotland. They voted SNP because Alex Salmond is positive about Scotland, because they think Alex Salmond would give them what they want. The Scottish people want more powers for their parliament without wanting independence. The Scottish people support a new form of unionism, and so do I. A new unionism that will give the people of Scotland the ability to shape their future. A new unionism which will provide financial devolution to the Scottish Parliament, because with it will come responsibility. A new unionism that calls for a more decentralised United Kingdom at ease with itself, knowing that the whole will be greater than the sum of its parts. Let me be clear. There are certain things that are rightly the responsibility of Westminster and should remain so. And when it comes to fiscal powers, I reject outright so-called full fiscal freedom, where all taxes are raised in Scotland and we pay money to Westminster for certain UK matters such as defence. This is independence in disguise, and advocating it is simply fighting Alex Salmond's battles for him. We must be careful with our terminology. We must say what we mean and mean what we say. So I reject outright full fiscal freedom, but I strongly support the principles of financial devolution, where the Scottish Parliament is more responsible for the money it spends. This is an important discipline for any level of government, whether it be the Scottish Parliament or local councils. I believe it will lead to more accountable and better government in Scotland. That is why I, along with the other candidates in this leadership election, support the UK Government's Scotland Bill. I want to see its proposals implemented and working as soon as possible. It sets out ambitious plans to increase the financial accountability of the Scottish Parliament, but it keeps together the world's most successful economic, political, social and monetary union, the United Kingdom. These are the principles on which we should build in the future. New unionism is about the total rejection of independence, but it is positive about greater devolution. And so once the Scotland Bill has been implemented, I am open-minded about a further review of the devolution settlement. And I will do what the Sanderson Commission recommended and lead a full debate in the party on the way forward. But let me be clear that any further devolution will only be considered on pragmatic grounds. It must be shown to benefit Scotland and strengthen the United Kingdom. Now, I realise some people will say, this is not unionism. But that's like saying that Australia or Germany or Switzerland or the United States or Canada are not unions, not united patriotic countries. And this argument equates unionism with centralisation, and it's wrong to do so. Let me be clear, I will bow to absolutely nobody in my commitment to the United Kingdom. But I believe our United Kingdom is most at risk from our failure to redefine unionism, from a failure to embrace new unionism. It is at risk from a backlash from people in Scotland who think the only party that speaks up for them is the SNP, that the only party which believes Scotland is capable of exercising greater powers with competence and responsibility is the SNP, and it is at risk from voters in England who believe that the current devolution settlement is unfair. I say no more. We need to make the positive case for the Union. The Scottish Parliament is not going to go away. We can't stop the world and jump off. It's time to embrace new unionism. It's time to be enthusiastic about the evolution of devolution. Ladies and gentlemen, a new party and new unionism are the political equivalents of a foot in the door. They offer us a fresh opportunity to be heard, a fair hearing, free of preconceptions and negative perceptions. They give us a chance to convince people in Scotland of the value of what we stand for. It is up to us to grasp this opportunity to set out our vision for Scotland. I believe our values are more relevant today than ever before. I have always understood the value of a free society, because for me, the free society is the good society, the strong society. It fosters the responsibility, the diversity, the justice, compassion, solidarity, and opportunity on which such a strong society is built. It serves the common good because it is the catalyst for progress in all areas of human life. It has been proven to deliver the things that really matter to people: security, a higher standard of living, and better public services. But such a society will only flourish within the right institutional framework. Government has a vital but limited role to play in such a society. For example, in enforcing the law, in ensuring universal access to public services, and in alleviating poverty. But we must all share the responsibility for building the good society. We can all play our part in upholding vital institutions, because a strong society is built from the bottom up, not the top down. And that's why I want to empower people and local communities throughout Scotland. This is the basis of a modern, progressive vision in tune with the spirit of our times. And it is this modern, progressive vision we need to set out in the months and years ahead, to show that our beliefs serve all of Scotland and not just a few areas, to show that our policies will improve life for all in Scotland and not just a few groups, to show that we speak for all of Scotland and not just the chosen few, and in particular, those least able to look after themselves. I know what I believe. I know what I believe. I believe in the value of family and community, in the crucial importance of voluntary cooperation in all its forms, whether inspired by family loyalty, philanthropy, or mutual benefit. This is at the heart of my political viewpoint, my compass. These values are what unite us, and they are an integral part of the Scottish tradition, with its emphasis on voluntarism, mutualism, and community. And they are shared by most people in Scotland, people who used to vote for us. And too often we hear defeatist assertions that Scotland is somehow a more left-wing country than England. But we know there are thousands of people throughout Scotland who share our desire to see an enterprising economy, strong, safe communities, and effective public services. Yet we have lost thousands of centre-right voters over the last 20 years. And if we don't change, we will never get them back. By changing our party, we put ourselves back in the game. There is everything to play for. So we must show the people of Scotland that we are in tune with their values, that we understand their aspirations, that we wish to see a society which gives every single person the opportunity to fulfil their potential. We have to build our support from the ground floor up, winning house by house and street by street. To do so, we have to trust our party, just as we trust the Scottish people, because we also need the discipline and determination to develop a clear and coherent policy platform built on our values. There will be much more to the next few years than simply a debate on the Constitution. Most people want to know if we have answers to the many challenges facing modern Scotland. The challenges of creating new jobs, reducing crime, providing decent and affordable homes, and ensuring everyone has access to high-quality education and health services. Scotland is a great country in so many ways, but it could be so much better. Too often we settle for mediocrity because raising those issues means we are accused of talking Scotland down. Well, no problem was ever solved by brushing it under the carpet. So we will address these issues head-on and set out distinctive solutions which empower people and communities. Because for me, mediocrity will never be good enough. I have high aspirations for my country. As the father of 2 young children, I want them to grow up in a Scotland where they are safe and secure, where they have a wide range of opportunities, and where our education system is again the envy of the world. So a new party and a new unionism will give us a foot in the door, but it is up to us to encourage people in Scotland to open the door and let us in. So, ladies and gentlemen, the choice we face is stark and serious. It is, without exaggeration, adapt or die. My ideas could be rejected. We could adopt the old approach, disengaged from the evolution of the Scottish Parliament, negative towards our prospects as a country, further alienated from the people of Scotland, an attempt to push back the tide of history. I've seen that movie before. It doesn't have a happy ending. As Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it's time to try something different. A bold new direction, creating a new party, uniting people of all ages, from all backgrounds and from all areas, not ashamed to vote for us, saving our United Kingdom. To me, it would be a great honour to lead such a party. I am proud of what we stand for today, but I am prouder still of what we can achieve in the future, in our future as a new party. Ladies and gentlemen, I was born 46 years ago today, in 1965. The same year, our party gave up its distinct Scottish identity. Our new party will go back to its roots. We will build a movement to win back the thousands of people who have left us over the years. We will re-energize our people. We will enthuse, we will fight, and we will win. Thank you.